Hello everyone, welcome to Chaudhary Data World channel. Today I am here with a new topic in Databricks, that is DB Utils module. We'll be watching what DB Utils module is, how is it helpful to us, what are its functionalities. We'll be watching all this in an overview, not in that much detail. We will be just taking a look over all the DB Utils methods we are having into our Databricks so that we can use it into our project. So let's get started with the video. So this DB utils module is the utilities module of the Databricks. Now what this utilities module is, if you want to interact with the Databricks configurational systems like file system, notebook, widgets, all these type of operations we can handle it with the utilities module of Databricks. Now the question comes, what all types of utility means what all types of operations are available into this DB utils. To get that, we just jump to the Databricks tutorial or a Databricks notebook, in which what we can do is we can just type it down db utils. In any notebook you will just type it down dbutils.help. It will list on all the utilities function whatever available into the Databricks, which you can take a overlook, and if you whatever it is needed into your project you can go ahead with that. So it's a here we are having credential, then data, then fs, jobs, library, meta, notebook, preview, all these widgets. So all these things are available into our dbutils. For now I have taken up three in the example, that are fs, notebook and widgets, because these three are the most widely used utility module methods or operations into our any project or in daily life, you may say that, into our project. So first one is the dbutils.fs. This is the utility function for interacting with the file system of Databricks. That means if you want to list on what all files and directories in the specific path we are having, we saw it, we can do it via two methods. First one, the last day in the previous video I have covered up the magic commands. In this magic commands you can see here that there is %fs, with which you can just do it like that, and after that %ls is also there. So similar function we are having into dbutils as well, with which dbutils.fs.ls, and whatever path we will provide it over, it will list down the files. Similarly, for creating the directory into the specific path, we are having dbutils.fs.mkdir, and then you need to specify the path. How these things are even getting, let me just take an example so that you can have clear demonstration that apart from this, if suppose I'm demonstrating you this dbutils.fs.ls, similarly you can go ahead with other functionalities into this file system ahead, so that you can have a clear demonstration by yourself as well into your notebook. So what we can do here, instead of this path we will just provide a new path. So we are having already over there. So if you have already covered up the previous video, you are following the video series, then you must be aware of I'm using this particular, I used this particular file path for %fs as well. Similarly I'm using it for this dbutils as well. I will just pass it over here, wrap it with the bracket, click on shift plus enter. It should give list on the files available into your. There is some error it seems to be. Let me reload the page. For the time being, is it as it is getting reloaded, we may just go to our here into the PPT, and we can see next utility functions. So that is about that dbutils.fs. That means it will handle the file system in which you are having multiple functionalities like listing down the file, whatever files into some particular path. After that we are having mkdir, which will create the directory in the specific path you will be providing. So it's reloaded, so let me pull it down. You can come here and then just provide it like control V shift plus enter. It should work. Okay, it is telling you to wrap it with as a string. So it should be provided as a string format. Should ideally work now. Yeah. So here you can see that dbutils.fs.ls, and whatever path you have provided in that particular path, whatever files we are having, you can see those are listed on here, which you have saw it above as well when we were using fsls command, the magic command. It was also listing into this particular format all the files whatever it was there. So similarly, you can go ahead with other functionalities or other functions available into this dbutils.fs that are mkdirs. Now the question comes, what all methods we are having into some particular one, some particular dbutils.fs or whatever we saw, right? We were having another things like dbutils.jobs, dbutils.library. So what all if functions even available for that, what we can do, what we can just go ahead with having typing down dbutils. These are the things which will help you in a long run, so that because these things can't be memorized, so once you are having some particular need, you can go ahead with having dbutils.help. Under that you can find out, suppose notebook it is over there, correct? So if this notebook is there, you can just type it down notebook over here, and just that's it, that dot help, as we did for the dbutils. So when you will click on shift plus enter, it will give you the methods or the functionalities available for the notebook, that are exit and then run. And what all value we need to be provided, the short documentation is also provided over here. You can go ahead by just following this particular documentation, so that you can avail the functionality or whatever the features it is providing. Similarly, we are having widget operation. This widget operation is very much useful when you are interacting with the outer environment. Like if suppose you want to take up some particular file from the blob storage, suppose. So now this file, taking the file from blob storage will definitely be there for your it should be first taken up into the, or suppose there is some variable, there is a variable into your notebook, and that variable it is getting used into the notebook code, and that variable to be come from the pipeline side. Suppose if you are using Azure Data Factory or some other Oscar means whatever you are having, the pipeline creation tool you are having. So from that side, if you want to fetch the variable value into your notebook, for that widget is very much important. Let me show you that how it is working even. So what we will do, we will just dbutils.text we are having, suppose this text, we will just copy it and just pass it over here. So you can see that we need to provide name and default value. These are the important one which need to be provided. So suppose instead of name, what we can var1 we can put it over here, which should be provided as the string again, and default value should be something like xyz, something, anything. So as soon as you click on shift plus enter, it will create a widget in front of you, you can see here, right? So now whatever input you will pass into it, this var1, whatever you are watching, this var1 will be containing that particular this var1 variable will be containing that particular value, whatever you will pass it over here. So this is how the widget is working, and it is helpful only in one purpose, that is suppose if you want to take the variable value from some other environment, the Azure Data Factory or some other environment, from there if you want to fetch the value, you can, whenever you will import this particular notebook, this is a separate topic which I will be covering up in some other video. There are multiple things into that, that how we can create a mount. There is a mounting concept even into the Databricks. After that we are having this widget concept. So how we can use all these things from the outer environment, that means how we can use it into the real case scenario. All this is a separate topic which I will be covering in the separate video itself. For now, just take a look of whatever we are having the functions into the dbutils. So hope this is very much clear to you, because it is nothing to be memorized. Just you can go ahead with having dbutils.help. It will give you list on whatever utility function it is having. After that, whatever utilities function you want to read it throughout, you can just pass it like dbutils dot suppose fs.help, library.help. All these things you can do it by yourself, because there are multiple functions which you can explore and do use it into your project. So this was all about this particular video. This was an overview of this whole utility function. And for more, please subscribe to the channel and stay updated with the channel videos, whatever I am taking up into the everyday video series. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching the videos.